hands, make some noise for Westlake boys!
In an interview in 1971, Bruce Lee presented perhaps his most famous quote to the interviewer.
Be like water, my friend. He probably wasn't talking about drowning in the pussy.
He also probably wasn't advertising for Pump, asking you to stay hydrated either.
What he meant was that the fighter must accept the blows, take them, mold the energy in hate, and return beauty.
He was probably talking about martial arts, which to me is cool
Dumb
as hell, because when is a guy whose whole career path involved punching people until they stop moving ever been this deep?
But when Bruce Lee was found dead in his hotel room,
with weed in his stomach
and an alien lump in his brain,
I began to wonder if Bruce Lee thought that being water meant something more than fighting with grace.
For Bruce Lee was not a fighter. He was an artist. Though his careless calligraphy was rough on the eyes of the conqueror, misunderstood by the Western world. For Kung Fu is an art form, and yet his fists could not form words, so he reset his canvas with the sandpaper cliches of the dictator, thickened his tongue with an inexperienced brush, but still managed to flow poetry in a language not quite his own.
You see, the sigh of the oppressor had swung too many times before. If you lose your language, if you lose your culture,
then you can get a job, Bruce Lee.
Then you can act, Bruce Lee.
Then you can get yourself a sexy white wife, Bruce Lee.
I have a Polynesian friend who wears skinny jeans and crop tops, hoping that some white guy will sweep her off her feet.
Dust her face with makeup.
Covers herself up with a mask, wishing that she will someday be another notch on colonial Europe's headboard. Lights too dim to notice Pacifica swept under the bed, like another dirty secret that they try to get you to forget.
Bruce Lee knows that the hands of the rulers are heavy, and water only picks fights it can win. The only way to win is to unite. Single droplets become trickles, become rivers, become waterfalls. Be like water, my friends. Bruce Lee was dirty, carried grit in his stream, so when he flowed through the cracks of the society that the dictator had made, he left behind grime that they had to deal with, made his death undrinkable for the stomachs of his jailers.
When they stepped in his puddle in their arrogant, triumphant socks during the victory lap, they realized that the puddle was a lot deeper than they had thought. His dirt clung to them, and their socks had to be washed. Yes, Bruce Lee said, be like water, my friends!
When another droplet of your kin is ripped away by the gaping maw of the enemy, and it feels like too many battles have been lost, just remember that water always remains. The tide may ebb, but it always returns. A drought can only ever end with rain.
So when Bruce Lee was found dead in his hotel room, with weed in his stomach and an alien lump on his brain,
be like water
seems less like advice and more like a battle cry.